In this video, I'm going to answer the 3 most common questions parents are asking about handwriting, and I'll show you what you can do to help your own child at home exactly the way I do at my tutor center. Oh, and be sure to watch to the end for some great tips to get started and save you a ton of time and money. Welcome to Yellow Pad Videos from the Tutor's Place. Whether you're a parent, grandparent, or anyone who wants to help a child learn, this is your channel to learn exactly how to do it. Every lesson is quick, simple, and fun, and always about excellence. So if you're new here or haven't yet joined the community, click the subscribe button below and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any new videos when they're uploaded. Hi, I'm Michelle Grunwald. Here in the real world, I teach students how to learn, and then I teach them the skills they need so they can succeed both in school and in life. Here in the cyber world, I show you, the parents, how to teach your own children. These videos are the programs, curricula, and techniques I've developed over 30 years as a homeschool mom, classroom teacher, and professional tutor. Once you've heard the issues I've seen and the challenges my students are facing, you're going to want to take the next step and fix the problem. Don't worry, you'll be able to do this. As always, I make everything as quick, simple, and fun as possible. You can do this. And at the end, I'll provide a short shopping list of the supplies you'll need. You're going to love how small it is. And most important, I'll explain what not to waste your money on. Then you'll be ready for the rest of the videos in this series when they're released. So here's what I've discovered. So why have so many schools stopped teaching handwriting? According to the official sources that I know of, that I've checked, it's because of a lack of time combined with the need to make choices. And many schools have felt that keyboarding is more important since students are using computers in the classroom. What's interesting to note, however, is not only are they not teaching cursive, but I have a lot of students who are high school, college age who cannot read or write cursive, and they even struggle with their own printing. They never learned proper printing skills. You'll notice I use the word proper a lot. So in actuality, schools have stopped teaching cursive several years ago, and they stopped teaching proper printing technique decades ago. You can't teach cursive to somebody who doesn't know how to print, since cursive is an extension of printing. But now we could get into 157,000 huge arguments right now, and that's just not what we want to waste our time on. So we're going to leave it at that. Students today have been left to figure out their own way to form letters in printing. They're not teaching cursive, and we need to know what to do about it. Of course, then there's the next question. Is it really that important? Okay, this one's easy. Plain and simple. Yes, it is that important. Which, of course, begs the third question. What kind of problems can lack of proper handwriting cause for my child? Now, this we're going to get into. Okay, I could spend hours talking about the problems caused by lack of proper handwriting technique. I don't have time for that, so I just want to give you a quick overview of how this can get in the way of learning. When we talk about learning, oftentimes we forget how the brain works, because we always think about what's going on inside the brain. How the brain processes information, makes decisions, tells the body parts and everybody what to do. We forget that the information the brain uses to make these decisions comes from its environment, both the external environment, internal environment of the body. So it's a two-way communication. Not only does the brain tell the hand what to do when you're writing, but the hand is informing the brain of what it's doing. So let's look at how this might affect a small child's ability to write, say in second, third grade. Okay, so the child wants to write a word, and the brain says, write the letter A. Okay, I thought I'd do a quick demo with my yellow pad. I know you're not seeing in this video, but in future videos, you're going to be seeing a whole lot more of the pad and a whole lot less of me as I actually demonstrate the techniques that you'll use with your own children. Now, A is done by making a circle, right, with a stick on it. And if I weren't doing this for video and I was paying attention better, that would be down on this line here. Now, let's say our child decides they're going to make an A, but they haven't really been told what to do with their fingers to make that happen. And they start at the top and they go around backwards. And just to make sure it's round, they go around again. Okay, then stop at the top. And they got to make a stick, and it's got to come down here, so they go like that. That got 2 circles. It's got a crooked stick, you know. It's a mess. But this is what I see a lot of. And don't forget, now, not only is the hand informing the brain of what it's doing, and the brain's telling the hand what to do, the eyes are involved too, because the eyes are checking on the result and sending those signals to the brain so the brain can see what's going on. And the eyes look down at the A and send the picture of this double circle line thingy that's supposed to be an A to the brain. The brain goes, that's not an A. And the hand goes, Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. And they start arguing. Okay, and the brain goes, that's not how you make an A. And the hand goes, well, that's how I make an A. And now we're having a fit. And the brain says, you know better. It's a circle with a stick on it. So now the brain sends the eyes to check again. He sends the signals to the brain. The brain goes, yeah, it's kind of wrong. And he goes, it's good enough. The brain goes, not really. Yes, it is. And he goes, all right, fine. The brain says, fine, it's good enough. And the hand goes, thank you. Can we move on now? Okay, fine. And he goes, well, what do we do now? And of course the brain goes, no. I don't know, I forgot, we were arguing. The brain goes, and the hand goes, and it gives up. Okay, so now we've got this issue. Of course, in reality, there's not a conversation going on for 20 or 30 seconds with a big argument with actual words. But there is disconnect and discord between the hand, the eyes, and the brain. Because the brain wants one thing, the hand does another, and the eyes are showing the brain that it's not getting what it wants, and there's a question in there. It could only take a millisecond, and there's no words involved, but there is a disconnect. And now the child starts wondering and getting a little nervous and moves on to the next letter and the next letter, and it happens again and again. And this starts all piling up. Next thing you know, the student is thinking so hard about letters and how to form them that perhaps they write a letter twice by accident or skips a letter because they got ahead of themselves. And next thing you know, they got 2 or 3 words on paper, but they're not spelled properly. And by now, this is all piled up in many layers, and the hand and the brain are arguing with each other, and it's getting really ridiculous, And they just give up. Now your child can't spell. Their handwriting is atrocious. They're very frustrated. They can't write a sentence. We don't know why they can't get anything on paper because it's a very smart child who can indeed read well. And you have a mess. And also remember, the eye follows the hand. So if the hand is going everywhere, bottom up, top down, around and backwards, and it's not going in the right direction that the brain's expecting, the eyes are going up and down and all over the place, and the brain's going blah, 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 and gets lost. I've actually had students that have gotten really confused with fractions because they're not writing their numbers properly and not forming the fractions from the top down. And when I teach them the simple technique of forming numbers properly and writing fractions properly, bam, the whole thing clears up. It's kind of scary. It's so easy. And that's the secret. Remember, it's always easy when you're here. Okay, that was just a really quick overview. Obviously, this is a very complex subject. It is education, human brains, and human interaction. We could spend a lifetime discussing it, learning about it, arguing over it. Let's not do that. We have one priority here, and that is teach the children. Simply, efficiently, in a way that's fun and gets them to success. Now, as I mentioned, I was going to give you a really short shopping list so that you can gather up the supplies you need so that when the next video comes out, you'll be ready to teach your children to print properly. It is a prerequisite to proper cursive, so don't skip it. If you haven't already, go ahead and click the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so that you'll know when the next video comes out and you can teach your child to print and then write properly. Okay, here's the short little shopping list. It's just 5 items. Now, I'm going to discuss what to buy, then what not to buy, item by item. I think that'll make more sense than listing the do's and starting over to list the don'ts. Oh, and here's your first tip. That's why it's just sitting here being filmed like this. If you're on your phone, take a screenshot. And now you have the shopping list on your phone and ready whenever you go to the store. If that's not possible, if you're on your computer or something, the list is below this video. You could just scroll down when it's over and copy that. Now, let's look at the first item, the pencil. Not just any pencil, a number 2 wooden 6-sided pencil. That's really specific. Sounds like it might be hard to find or expensive, right? But nope, it's actually the most common pencil. Here's a pack that I picked up, and if you'll notice, it says right on it, number 2, and it says wood. Now, here's the interesting part. Here's the pencil. I pulled one out of the pack for you. If you'll notice, these things aren't round. They're 6-sided. Each side is flattened, and that makes it difficult to roll, but most importantly, it's excellent for grip. See how the finger lines up on one of these flat spaces right here? Okay, that makes it much easier for a child to handle this. A perfectly round pencil will slip and slide and roll and move up and down on a child's hand, and when they're learning to write, that makes it difficult. So this is the better pencil. Makes it easier for the little hands to maintain proper grip. So, not only are they the least expensive, they are actually the best tool for learning. Now, let's look at what not to buy group. The first one is your classic, fancy, fun package of designer pencils with all kinds of pretty colors and pictures, cartoon characters. The kids love them. Notice I actually have 2 packs of them, right? And I have a couple open here. I do have these for the kids, but I don't recommend them for the little children or anyone who's actually learning to write properly. Once they get the technique down, which happens very quickly, sure, you can let them use the round pencils. But believe it or not, the biggest problem we have with these pencils isn't a problem for the children, it's a problem for you. Here's one. Look at this. It's a really cute little snowman pencil that I gave away at Christmas. This is shiny because it's plastic coated. And it's not just a light, thin plastic. This is thick, intense, heavy plastic. Look at this. I peeled it back. I broke my fingernail doing it too. This is really strong plastic. Look at this. It's really hard to break. Can you hear it snap? See that? Imagine putting that in a high-quality, expensive electric pencil sharpener. These pencils tear up the blades. That's why it's important to have a little hand sharpener. These pencils are okay for the kids, but don't let them sharpen them in your fancy, expensive pencil sharpeners, okay? The next item on the don't buy list is these replaceable lead pencils. Okay, this is one that's been sitting around in my office. It looks in pretty good condition, even still as the eraser, but look. There's no lead left. And when you're trying to teach a child to read, you want to minimize frustration. Having something run out of lead is not a good idea. Now here's an older one I had. See, it's broken right here. There's no eraser left. And there's some lead, but watch this. Here, let me get a piece of paper. Okay, here's one. Now watch. Gone. Just that easy. These things snap like anything. The students, especially young ones learning to write, this is really frustrating. Now watch. I just snapped it right off. Look at that. See right there? It doesn't take anything to break these. And watch what happens if you end up with this rolling around on the table or your desk and a pad of paper gets on it or a notebook and you push it around. Look at that. I can't tell you the number of times, I've had to wash the table where I tutor students because one of these has been caught underneath a notebook or something. When they slide off to the side, it does that. Imagine if that's your furniture. If you have young children, avoid that. Even the older students that you're reteaching or teaching the proper way to write, they're going to put extra pressure down, so you really don't want this. And you don't want to tear up your pencil sharpener or have problems with grip and slip down here, so you don't want this. Just get them this. The perfect pencil. Number 2 lead, 6-sided wooden. Cheapest pencil in the store. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is erasers. Now, of course, our pencil here has an eraser, but I promise you the little ones love to erase while they're working on their handwriting, and that's going to disappear very quickly. I keep boxes of this. You can buy them 24, 48 at a time for just a couple of bucks. They fit right on here. The only problem you may have with these is they break regularly, right here. And then you get these little rings that come down around here, and you got these little tips floating around the house. So you might want to just get some cute, fun erasers. Yes, because independent erasers enhance learning and make it easier for the child. In this package that I give to students, ooh, that's blurry. Hold on. Let me pour one out. It comes with some stickers. See the shiny stickers in the back? These are stickers. It has the fun pencil, and of course the eraser. Okay, these are great. Kids love them. They don't lose them. And if they do, they're easy to find. And you just need lots of extra erasers. You might as well have fun with that. This next piece is really interesting. Here's a pencil sharpener. This is what I like. Look at how dinky that is. Tiny little pencil sharpener. There's where you put the pencil. This is where the shavings are. You can hold on to 1 or 2 pencil sharpenings, and then you can just dump it in the trash and start over. Again, I buy these by the box. I can get 48 in a box for just a couple of dollars. You can go to any discount dollar store and get them, even larger ones. They're perfect. Students can have it right on the desk, keep their pencils sharp, and what's most important for you, parent, if you have a heavy-duty electric pencil sharpener, that's great, but guess what? There are magnets in there. And if you have a battery-operated one that your child carries around, if they plop that down next to your computer, they can mess with your hard drive. The magnets can tear up your hard drive. So if you do have an electric pencil sharpener, that's great. Little tip for you, just keep it away from your electronics. And finally, the grips. This is very simple. Everybody knows what grips are. Whoops. Let me move that out of there. Again, They're just $1 or $2. You can buy them at any store. The little rubber handle thingies, they look like gummy worms. You just slide them right on the pencil. Again, this enhances the learning. It doesn't take away from it. Makes it easy to grip, keeps the fingers from sliding. Great for the little ones or anyone. Okay, now the last thing I want to talk to you about is the manuscript paper. Unfortunately, in today's world, companies like to sell lots of paper. This is one that I purchased recently. You'll notice it says grades K through 2. I don't think a kindergartner and a second grader are going to use the same paper, but we're going to let that go. I'm going to show you how to pick the right paper for your child. Okay, let me show you what I mean. Here's one, grades 2, 3. Alright, that's a writing tablet, and you'll notice on this one, it even shows cursive on it. Okay, now here's a separate pad, very different, pre-K and first grade only. Now I'd like to show you the difference. It's not the cover. Don't worry about what grade level it says. Don't even look at that. It could say pre-K, it could say first grade, third grade, doesn't matter. Okay, what we're looking at is the size of the line width. This one says preschool through second grade. This is what you use for preschoolers and, say, first graders. Students that are just learning how to write. This is a full 1 inch from the bottom line to the top line. Okay, so that's for little hands. That's what you teach printing from. For the older students, whether it's printing or cursive, look at this one. Look how tiny those lines are from red to blue. It's about half. Okay, this is for second and third graders when you're starting to get smaller letters and more control and maturity over their hand strokes. So, if you have a kindergarten first grader, get this one. If you have a second, third grader, or older, because our middle and high school students need to learn to write properly as well, get this one. Okay, just open the pad up, look at it, measure it. You want 1 inch height for little ones, and the smaller ones about a ½ inch for the older kids. Make sure you get the right manuscript paper. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments below, and I will see what I can do to help you. And I'll see you in about a week when the next video comes up, and we will start teaching these children to print properly.